The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki. Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast, live from LA.
That's right.
In person with
Yes.
Brian Frangie.
Hello.
Sean O'Connor.
Hey.
And you know her, you love her, you hear about her all the time. She's been on the show before, and she's back by popular demand and because Andrew Collin got really violently sick. So please welcome to the show, Emily Licciardi. Sorry.
Wow.
I was really focused on your last name, so I fucked up your first
I
name.
thought you were supposed to say Gen ZM, so
Oh,
I'll
Gen
take
Z.
it.
Yeah, it's Gen ZM,
Gen
everyone.
ZM.
Sorry, I meant to say that
That's
too.
her whack pack name.
Yeah, that is, like, no one, I barely know your last name. It's Gen
No one
ZM.
does.
Licciardi?
Gen ZM.
Does it feel flippant? Because I remember one time you were like,
You
of
think
course
I know
you have
what
me in your phone
flippant
as
means?
up high M, Emily.
Should
Emily
mean
up
is-
high.
yes.
Everyone has me in as Emily up high. And I'm like, oh.
Or Emily
oh,
social media. Emily
Emily-
social girl.
yeah.
I was like, I'm more than that.
I thought
My
that
wife
was
is
your
still in
last
my
name.
phone. My wife is still in my phone as girl from bar. Like,
That'd be amazing. My boyfriend actually is in my name or is in my phone right now under his name is World Record Association. Okay, which is really the story behind it is interesting. But his nickname is SeaWorld because his name is Chris, so it's like Chris World, but it's like sounds like you're saying SeaWorld. So we call him. His family calls him SeaWorld, and so shortened to that, a lot of people call him World. I don't, but I know that's what he's called. So he keeps showing up in my phone as World, which is what we call him. But the reason he's in my phone as World Record Association is because this weekend, Thanksgiving night, my nephew, who's 7, your son Nolan's
Yeah.
age, same age, like went out on the front porch and we were just like in the family room watching TV. I was at my parents' house with my nephews and my niece and my sister and my brother-in-law Matt. And my brother-in-law Matt comes in and is like, "Hey guys, Arlo's doing this thing on the porch. He's like, he all of a sudden like wants to set a record." And we were like, "What?" And they're like, "He wants to. He's on the porch. And he was sitting on a ball he found in a tree, like a soccer ball. He's sitting on a ball on the front porch, on a bench on my parents' front porch." And he asked for my phone and he just said, "I want to just like set a record for like how long to sit on a ball." And so we were like, where is he getting this from? I went out there to check on it and he was like, "I'm going to set a record." I'm like, "Oh my God, what is the record?" He's like, "I'm setting it." And I'm like, "You're right, you are. Like, this is amazing." And so then we got in this whole thing of like, "You're setting a record. This is the coolest thing that's ever happened. Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. It's so cold outside. You're going to sit on this ball. How long are you going to go?" He's like, "Maybe an hour." I'm like, "Oh my God." And also we get a break from him for an hour.
Yeah.
He's on the
Pretty
porch
wild.
alone.
Yeah.
We keep, so over the course of the hour, we're like amping this up. We keep bringing him out blankets. It's like 30 degrees outside. We're bringing him hot cocoa. We're like, "How are you doing this? This is amazing." So he's just sitting like a bird on an egg, on a ball, on a bench on my parents' front porch. We're watching TV in the family room. And then a couple times I bring him like, you know, a blanket and some gloves. And he just casually mentions like, "You should call someone about this. Like you should call," like, because he kind of knows I'm the one that might have connections to like
Sure.
Yeah.
getting
Guinness.
things
You
out
know
there.
Guinness.
yeah.
So he's like, "You should call someone." And I'm like, "I should, you're right." But I kind of like brushed it off when he first said it. Like, yeah, people deserve to know about this. We'll let people know, you know. And then the second time he said it, I was like, I got to do something. Like,
Yeah.
I got to like come through on this for him. So I texted Chris, who was at his parents' house, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to call you. And will you just pretend that you are like at the World Record Association?" And because he didn't know about Guinness Book of World Records, but we were
Sure.
like, "That you're," and we're telling you about this world record, and will you just? He's sitting on a bench, sitting on a ball on a bench, and so I called Chris. And I put him in my phone because Arlo might have been suspicious and been like, "Is it really?" And I go, "It's the World Record Association. Like, I got their number." And Chris fucking nailed it. He was
of course
he
he
was Jerry McGinnis, and he kind of had a Southern accent. And he's like, "Now tell me about what's going on there." And I go, "Well, we got a boy who's sitting on a front porch in the cold." He goes, "Not in the cold, really in the cold? Well, it's got to be at least 60 degrees there, right?" We go, "No, it's 30." And he goes, "Oh, so you got a boy sitting on a bench." On a ball on the bench. Now we got little Timmy Flattery. He did 53 minutes back in August of 77. And so he's going through like his records and he goes, now this boy's he's got to be about what, 15, 16, 17. And I go, no, sir, no. This is a 7-year-old. He goes, 7 years old.
Oh my
well, this is
God.
going right to the top of the deck. So then he's like, so Arlo's listening to this on speaker and just like on this ball, like so excited. And so then I was like, so does he get something in the mail once we like, once he has achieved the record? Because he's at 22 minutes now. And he goes, well, if he gets another 31 minutes, I mean, we will have no choice but to dethrone Timmy Flattery and send him a certificate. And so I go, and he'll get that in the mail. And I knew Chris would like mail him something. So I was like, this will be great. We'll do it later. But then Chris is like, no, I'm going to Photoshop it right now. So he like made this amazing certificate with like different
Wait, we need to
colors.
see it.
And then my dad of like, who has a color printer in this world? Kinkos aren't open on Thanksgiving. There's no world would this have ever worked out except my dad has a working color printer and never used.
Way to go,
I never
Edward.
used a color cartridge.
No.
I'm excited to use it. So he printed up this certificate
my
that
God.
Arlo is holding proudly. And it's so he couldn't believe it. He kept asking if there was money involved. And Chris almost put a caveat on the certificate for it to say like, your favorite aunt must award you $100. I was like, that would have been so
That
good.
looks really good.
Isn't it? He did such a
That's-
good job on it.
Wow, it's got a seal and everything. That looks like a real seal.
And it has a picture of Arlo holding
This
his
is
time.
official, folks.
This is official, folks. Yeah. World Record Association. It's signed by Jerry McGinnis.
Record for sitting on a ball on a porch, 57 minutes and 1 second.
Stop. That's
Temperature
precious.
during record, an impressive 36 degrees.
That is incredible. That is so well done.
It's so fun to like. I understand Santa now, like because
Yeah.
because someone goes, when are you gonna tell him it was a lie? Like everyone that night was like, when are we gonna tell him? And I go, you're all lying to him about Santa constantly. Like, why can't we add more lies to the bit?
To the
like,
bit. Make
I'm
him
gonna
happy.
because I don't believe in lying about Santa, but if we're going to,
Might as well. Here's what you got to do next. You got to get a call. He has to get a call from Timmy Flattery, being really pissed
yeah,
off.
like really
that would
off.
be hilarious.
And he's by now he's probably in his 70s.
Oh.
If he was a
Yes.
15-year-old boy in 1977 when he
yeah,
broke
you're
the
right.
record.
Yeah.
So you got to get a 70-year-old man, any 70-year-old man you know, to come up to him and be like, "You broke my record. I'll never forget
Yeah.
it."
He is, but he's been flaunting it. He's been talking about it. They're gonna get it framed. Like, I just, do you guys remember as a kid like having any kind of like winning something or like having a like? Wouldn't that for us threes, Sean?
Yeah.
That would have been
Threes.
Threes.
as
threes.
an Enneagram 3. As you are too, because you
Yeah.
did the quiz. Like,
I don't
wouldn't
think
you
so.
have like? Wouldn't this have made your childhood? Like, I think I was just trying to gift him what I would have wanted.
Oh, absolutely. I want to be lied to. Like to the point where I wanted to succeed so much. There was a Ghostbusters comic book, and I still have it at my parents' house. That I took my older cousin's drawing of Slimer and sent it in as me as like a 4-year-old, and I got full credit.
my God.
They must have thought I was like the most talented 4-year-old. I was just a fucking liar.
Oh my God, you were talented in devious ways.
Yes.
Oh my, yeah.
I loved lying growing up, and like I
didn't like lying, but I just wanted I wanted notoriety.
Oh, I wanted it so bad. Like I remember at basketball camp, I told everyone I was Chris Farley's cousin because I like kind of looked like Chris Farley, and everyone called me Farley, and I was in heaven. And then he died.
Did you get to take off school? Or, it was summer
It was
camp.
during summer
Oh
camp, and
my
I
God.
he died in like July or something.
Oh
and I had
my
to be.
God.
I was actually really sad, so I like.
Yeah,
played
you
it up.
have to pretend.
Yeah.
Did you play it up though?
Didn't have to
But
lie.
no, but I think my mom told me to stop doing
That's
it at
such
that
a good
point.
lie. I
Yeah.
don't think I was like a lied to. That's a different type of 3.
Yeah,
Is
no,
it-
that's the Kevin
Well, you're the
Spacey
one.
3.
Yeah, that's the one. 3s can go either way. They're some of the worst people in the world.
Any number can go any way.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
you don't like taking credit for things that aren't yours.
That I haven't done. Yeah.
Yeah. So that
There's
there's,
been- I've
there's a
been-
differentiation here.
I don't do that anymore. This was
Yeah.
was
No.
very much like
No, that's who you
You're
are.
a
at
devious
your core.
liar.
I was just an unremarkable
Yes.
child, and
Yes.
all I wanted was to be like Matilda or something.
Oh, I wanted.
Yeah.
I would stare at spoons so much and try to get them to move. I wanted some kind of power.
Oh, that's it. Like, so that I feel like that's a 3 move.
Yeah, but I think like don't
Power?
all kids want like attention? Like, do you guys relate to that? Of like, Brian, you probably had it.
It's in different ways though. It's not. It doesn't matter if you want attention or if you want power. It matters why what is the thing? What is the reason for your trauma that
Yes.
you're covering up? What is your
Yes.
method?
But as a kid, what do you remember getting any kind of special attention that really made you feel so good?
Well, that's for different reasons. For one reason. So
Okay.
I remember at camp, I also lied about something. I was on a bus and it was a really hot day and we were stuck in traffic and like I think the bus overheated or something. And I felt that this was unacceptable to have all these kids on the hot bus for hours and hours.
Okay.
And so
It is.
It is. It was hours and hours. It was like 6 or 7 hours. We're on this hot bus on the side of the highway.
Oh my God.
And we're all getting so hot and we're sweating. And then eventually I took off my shirt and I was like I'm so hot. I'm so hot. And
What
then
grade is this?
I was probably like 7 or
Okay.
something. And I was like, I'm so hot. I can't take it anymore. And there was no water. It was like there was a bus driver.
Oh my God.
And then I pretended to faint.
Oh man. Did you tell like a friend you were going to do it, or is it was
No,
all on
I
your
just
own?
said someone has to serve justice here.
Whoa,
this is
that's
what
totally
happens.
You fell on the sword.
So
You are Rosa Parks of this
That's-
summer.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
Instead of sitting down, I fell over. Yeah. So I pretended to faint, and then it was like a big deal. I didn't realize it was going to be such a huge deal, but they made a really big deal about it at this camp because it was like he fainted on the bus out of heat exhaustion, and they took me to the nurse all day, and they were trying to give me all these.
But that makes sense because you saw that's what was going to happen.
I
and
saw
so
it
you're
was
like,
leading
I
to
have
this.
to just do it
Yeah.
to prove to them that this is a lot.
like take this
liability.
seriously. We're a bunch of 7-year-olds. The bus it's probably like 120 degrees inside this bus.
Yes.
and we're just sitting here for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh
Doesn't
my
make any
God.
sense.
Oh my gosh.
One time I was at a Dodgers game and I don't know if you've been up in like the like higher up seats there, but like there is a drop off, a sudden drop off where it like, there's like a place to go out to get concessions, so the stands drop off.
Yeah.
And there's there's a very small shitty guardrail separating like seats that are very high up off of just pure pavement.
Yeah.
And there was a child like by it. I was so distracted during the game. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I couldn't believe everyone else wasn't alarmed by this.
It's amazing
And
more people don't fall off
I couldn't
any stadium.
believe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Or like hotel balconies when I'm out there sometimes and I'm like,
Yeah.
how are kids not dying all of
Yeah.
the time? Because teens are always trying to show off.
That's right.
Yeah.
And flirting.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
how have flirty
Yeah.
teens not died here more often?
I don't know.
But I like it's not like I was gonna fall to make it happen, but I felt
thought
that
about
feeling
throwing a
lot
baby over
where
it.
yeah, I thought about pulling a Michael Jackson and showing my new song. to all this. But there was something in me that was like, I want these people. I need something to happen here for this to change.
yeah, right.
Because otherwise, it's like, but no one seemed to care.
Nobody
it's like
cares.
when people just walk on the road when there's traffic.
I will say it's crazy at like Dodger Stadium, very particularly. People are just getting wasted with their kids,
Wasted.
and just letting their kids do whatever there, and it's wild.
I think kids are
Yeah.
dying and they're covering up. There's no way kids aren't dying there.
Oh, it's like Disneyland where they went.
yeah, cruise ships.
Yeah.
There must
Oh
be
my
something
gosh.
because you go, how is this not happening when you see a hazard like that?
Yeah. I think someone's gonna. I mean, I don't want to say this, but I'm waiting for the first sphere fall because that's really steep in
Sphere
this
fall?
sphere in the sphere in
Sphere.
Vegas because it's so steep.
Wait, speaking of, I went to IMAX last night to see Wicked with my parents.
Oh, that's on the
IMAX
list.
is the same steepness. My parents, we said the same exact thing literally less than 24 hours ago about how do people not fall in IMAXs
Right.
all the time because there's this 6 inches to walk and it is a straight shot down.
Yes.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, I mean, IMAX, at least you're not like inebriated, but like the Sphere, like Fish is doing shows there.
Yes.
Like, it's wild.
How are people not getting hurt? It
Yeah.
really is crazy.
Like, just like tripping balls and
yes,
like
and
being
tripping
that-
over
That's
cups.
crazy.
Yes. You're so right. But
When I was watching Wicked, I was
Yes.
thinking at the beginning of it that it would be nice
you
to
see
see this
IMAX?
in IMAX or in the Sphere because it was visually stunning and I felt like I was on a ride at the beginning.
Well, yeah.
And seeing it on a regular screen, I felt like was doing it a disservice.
I had the exact opposite thing where
Yes.
I go, you know what? I think I got to see this in a regular one because the start of the IMAX show, they showed a preview for the new line, the Mufasa.
Yeah.
Mufasa. Mustafa. Where it seems like it's just the Lion King again.
It's basically the same story.
I was so distracted though because the trailer was not fit to the IMAX screen, so it was just like, whoa. And my mom and I were like, this sucks. Like, if this is what Wicked is, we're leaving immediately because you can't focus on anything. And there were times where, like, on the side of the screen during Wicked was much better formatted for it, but there were times during it where someone would appear on the side and you wouldn't even know that they were there because they're like way up on the side.
Like a character with lines?
Yeah, character with lines like would come in and you're like, whoa, she's all, you had to like turn your head over. But other than that, there were some cool moments when she runs to the edge of the cliff.
Yeah.
That was, I think, my favorite part of the whole. So we've all seen Wicked here. That's a real. Everyone applauded in my theater at the end of that. I mean, I'm sure everyone applauded at your theaters too because you guys
That
saw
whole
it
time
earlier.
they applauded.
People booed at that point. Culver City.
No, it was
But
so,
nobody sang in mine.
Nobody sang in mine.
Yeah.
They told us not to.
Oh, that's
There was
good.
two announcements before.
But the only cheering that happened outside of the end, because it did get an applause break at the end.
Was
but was the Nicole Kidman intro still is getting claps.
Wow.
Like, I'm so tired of it. I'm
Wait.
so embarrassed for people who like it.
That's so. But do they like it ironically at this point? Isn't that
they have
it?
to.
I think so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you not go to AMC's?
Did you see our merch video?
We did it. We did
I
a
guess
video on TikTok to it.
Yeah.
but
I only go to the Culver City Theater, which is owned by Amazon now.
Oh, so
Okay.
at every AMC showing for the last 3 years to get us out of the pandemic, Nicole Kidman filmed this thing where she's alone in a movie theater and she's just swept away by films like Jurassic World and La La Land. And she does this like, it's like this incredibly
Doesn't
like...
she walk in from the parking
raining
lot?
from the
outside,
parking lot,
like
it's
she drove
raining.
there. Yeah.
She
We
kicks a
come here to
puddle.
laugh. We
Yeah.
come here to love.
Yeah,
It's like we come here for
feel.
magic.
Yeah. It's really just,
A little hammed up.
melodramatic, and it became like a meme. Like people are
Yeah.
making fun of it. So I now think that people like it because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, like they're cheering when it comes
That's
on. But
crazy
it's very
they're
funny
cheering.
because Nolan knows all the words and he just says it along with them.
That's so cute. That's
Like it's
so
an episode of Bluey.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what we used to do at our movie theater in St. Louis. I still have the thing memorized of like Warenberg Theater, like the little song.
Yeah.
Like there was I would only hear it in that context, and I still have it. It's burned in my
Got it.
I used to see so many. I was voted most likely in my 8th grade class to be Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, that's a
Both
good
of them.
Not when you want to be like a pretty girl on screen. You want to like review movies.
You are so Ebert.
I was like, I hated it. I legit hated it. But
Would you give it two thumbs down?
I want to hear what you heard about how you felt about Wicked, but
Yeah.
Noah's saying we got to take a break.
Okay, let's take a break. And then, by the way, Brian's telling us what Noah's saying because he's wearing headphones and I'm not because I just got my hair done. Or no, sorry, my makeup done. My hair is not done. I haven't washed it in 3 days, but my makeup I just got done by a girl who I might be using from now on, or like not from now on, but like mixing into my makeup team. So we did a trial run that Emily set up. And we go, we'll just bring it to the podcast. And so if you're watching at home or on YouTube, that's why my face looks so different because I had makeup done and it looks amazing. We'll be back after this and we'll talk about Wicked. Okay, I saw Wicked. And I really knew nothing going in except I have been kind of in preparation of it getting into the Defying Gravity song. Like I was like,
Sure.
I got to check out the song. And when Chris used to do his radio show, Wicked was coming to like the Fox Theater, and so they would play little snippets, and it was like, "Look to the western sky." It was like that line, and then it was like, "Oh."
That's a great line.
Those two lines, and I was like, I learned them from this ad that I heard over and over when I used to listen to Chris's show every day, and so I knew those lines. I was like, I want to go to the song that has those, and that song fucking is awesome. I love
my
it so
God.
much.
Wait,
It's
you
incredible.
you
It's
never
truly a
saw it?
showstopper.
and there's like,
It
and there's
does,
like
the act
7
break.
songs in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Invincible, unlimited. Like there's all these like different areas it goes
Yeah.
to, and
Yeah.
Wait, so you never saw the musical?
no.
Whoa.
I knew nothing.
You know the Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
I did, but I kind of didn't
You've heard
because I
of
was
the Wizard of
scared of
Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Like I know the beats, and I obviously know everything, but I
Yeah.
never really
You don't
cared.
like
Did you
Lions.
connect any of it?
No, I didn't. I don't remember anything about. I know there's like a witch that
I mean,
had the
You
house
didn't
fall
read
on
all
her,
the book?
and
But
then-
you didn't connect like can I like say things that happen in the movie?
That
Listen.
Glinda is
Like
the good witch.
road when they choose the color of the road.
Yeah,
like,
I know. I know all the
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
I didn't know.
I know that Oz is like he has the big thing in front of him and he's the small guy behind
Yes.
it. I didn't really, but I don't know the story.
You knew that the Wizard of Oz was a movie, right?
Yes, and I knew that they used asbestos instead of snow.
Yeah.
And then
I
the one munchkin that hung himself. Was
Yeah.
the big...
That
Yeah, and the
famous
Tin
way,
Man
yeah.
got
You could see
cancer
a
from
hang- Is that
aluminum.
true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that
they
was a
all
joke.
they all
They
kind
all
of
died from their
because-
costumes.
Yeah,
How'd
from their
the lion
costumes and the
die?
asbestos.
And the asbestos,
Oh.
yeah.
Well,
And then also all of the
my God.
munchkins, they were kept in a hotel. They were all. There's like a movie about it from the 70s.
That's what I heard.
They
Wasn't
were
it-
kept in a hotel and they were all aggressively sexual. And like they were like really weird with everyone.
More munchkins.
Okay.
Wasn't the hotel the Culver City Hotel? The Culver Hotel. in
It might
Culver
have
City.
been.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that was where.
Wow.
Yeah.
there's
No
a
wonder
movie
it's
about it.
haunted.
It's a historic
Who
hotel.
stars in that movie? It's like Carrie Fisher and Chevy Chase.
I think so.
I think
yeah.
that's. I just heard about this morning on
What movie?
on Chris's radio show.
There's a movie
about the Munchkins.
the munchkins
like a
at a
scripted-
hotel. Yeah. like,
about during the Wizard of Oz.
And wait, Carrie Fisher pretended to be a munchkin?
no, she was probably like played Judy Gardner.
yeah.
okay.
saying like, stop touching me.
Okay.
Oh my
So,
lord.
but one of the Munchkins, Jerry Marin, who died
Yeah.
in May 24th, 2018. I talked about this before, but it bears mentioning again.
Half Jerry Seinfeld, half Mark Maron.
Yeah, exactly. Maren. But
Oh.
he is a Munchkin. And in 2000,
That's the correct term.
By the way,
11?
he was a munchkin in the
he
movie.
was a Munchkin and he's a little person.
In real life, he's a little person.
He's almost like more than a little person. You know how like he's like there's maybe it's like dwarfism.
He's got
Yeah.
lifts.
No, not taller than a little person. He's actually littler than most, I think, little people.
Ah, I see.
He was different than like the basic, not basic, but like the
The basic model of little person.
Well, yeah, because when
Yeah.
you go to Munchkin Land, there's a lot of standard size Munchkins.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I go on a flight. It was like 2010 to 12, I want to say.
Okay.
Before my life is
Long
really taken
flight.
off.
Taken
and-
off. Wow, this is all
A
plain
lot of flight stuff. So we're on the runway, literally. No, I am sitting next to him and his wife, who is also a little person. Who,
That's nice.
And we're in the back, but I don't know who he is. He's just two little people that I'm sitting next to, and I'm like,
That's
oh,
very
this is great.
nice for you.
Great.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
And not for them. Yeah.
No.
So at some point during the flight, we started talking, and then it was revealed that he was in The Wizard of Oz and one of the only living Munchkins. And I was like, oh my God, and we're flying to LA from probably some date I was doing in
Prague.
Boston or something. So, but it was a long cross country flight. And I make friends with him and his wife. They like give me some kind of like memorabilia. I forget, like a picture or something. I really was so dumb not to keep it all. But I'll never forget, because of course I remember this part. He was like, "You're gonna make it." He was no one had ever said that to me before.
Yeah.
Like I'm not like Lady Gaga claiming that no one believed in me.
Yeah.
Like and everyone said I wouldn't make it, and I'm here, Dad. Like I'm not. I don't talk like that. Like no one was ever mean to me and was like, "You're not talented." But no one ever really was like, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. He it was a moment that I will never forget, because it was obviously a Munchkin from the Wizard of Oz saying this to you, like a living legend that I then Googled. It was, I think, even before smartphones, but I looked at him later. I was like, holy fuck, this was a legend that I spent a whole flight with, and they were so nice to me. And
That's amazing. That's
yeah, it was really
magical.
cool.
Yeah.
So that's all I knew about Wicked.
Anybody saying that is
yeah,
nice,
it was
even if
really
it wasn't
sweet.
a munchkin.
I didn't get that a lot.
Yeah, no, but I feel like that's like an old Hollywood thing. So you kind of expect it from like a living
You're gonna
legend
make it,
Munchkin
kid.
is like,
yeah,
you're gonna make it. Like,
and he had but we talked for like a couple hours, and I think I'd maybe done the Tonight Show at that point or something, but it hadn't been going well.
Yeah.
It was like this was in like a couple years after that, and things were nothing was happening.
Oh yeah.
And it really, I had to make good on that on his wish for me.
he
Yeah.
needed
That's
to
why.
die in 2018 for you to soar.
I took his place in this business. That was the year
Oh my
I really.
gosh.
But Wicked, I didn't know like anything about the story going in.
Defying Gravity is so good.
It's so
The one lyric,
good.
my favorite lyric from Defying Gravity is when she rhymes "was" with "Oz," which I don't know why I like it so much.
Oh, that's nice.
I forgot what the lyrics are, so
Yeah.
I can't possibly even attempt it. But
I was shocked watching Wicked to find out there was an animal subplot.
I mean,
Like I was
I
shocked.
can't even. I don't even understand. Like, I can't believe no one's talked about. There is a subplot of Wicked about animal rights.
It feels
I didn't know
like
that.
the biggest part of the movie.
It is
Well,
the
yeah.
movie.
Well, okay, so to
But
be
why?
I
Why
don't
is it
know.
the movie?
When they
Why
would-
are there talking animals in this
And is
land?
that in the play? Animals?
Why did someone? It feels
It's in the
shoehorned.
book.
It feels a bit shoehorned.
it's in the book, it's in the musical. It's because it's taking every aspect of the Land of Oz from the Frank Baum original books and
Okay.
the movie. And a big part of it were the enslavement of these flying monkeys. And how did those flying monkeys become flying monkeys? And why are they working for the wizard? Or whatever,
Oh,
whoever,
so we
or the
never
witch.
really knew the story behind that, or he wrote the story behind that, and that's what we're watching.
Well, the
I don't
new
know
person
anything.
who wrote Wicked, he wrote the book in 1995. The
Okay.
year that The Wizard of Oz went to the public domain, he wrote, his book came out, Wicked.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that was a big part of it. It's just that. That's all.
It
Period.
was just so shocking because I really just thought it
You
was
thought it was
Wizard
gonna be
of
about
Oz.
witches.
And then there's like a goat who's like so sad. It's
So
like
That's the sad.
It
this
came
is-
out of nowhere. It
Yeah.
literally, I didn't know there were any animals in this movie
Yeah.
at all, let alone ones that talked that were really well done.
well
Amazing.
done. Like,
So good.
I'm worried. I'm worried about part 2 because part 1 of Wicked is so good. It's got all the hits. It's got all the best scenes.
What is going to be in 2?
Part 2 is pretty sad.
It is?
And it doesn't have a defying gravity
Well, we
in it.
know the witch is dead.
Yeah, well,
That's what I love. I love that we know the ending.
Yeah.
I love a
Well,
tragic tale.
But there's
you know
so many
the
more
ending for the
layers.
you know the ending for her, but for the rest of the characters, you're
Yeah,
not
but
sure.
like she is the movie.
Yes.
It's Elphaba's.
Well, she is the
it
protagonist.
feels
That
like-
is true.
Yeah.
But there's more to her story that I think you'd lose it if you find out.
But
that
that's
part
coming.
two.
That's coming. Well, I'm interested that I was reading what like we all are, just like little things here and there, and everyone's like, is Galinda good or bad? And I'm like, I thought she was good, and then it's like, no, she might just be a shitty person, but like she has parts like that's the only part that I kind of was like, I didn't get there with all of a sudden she's like a good friend and they're best friends and they trust each other. The way I kind of have thought about it the past 24 hours is that Elphaba was such an ostracized dork that had no friends, that she would just take anything, because Glinda was not a good friend. Out of the gate, she just was like, I'm just suddenly, you show up at this party, and because you got me the internship with the woman, I'm now gonna be nice to you and do your weird dance with you,
And do that.
Yeah.
and suddenly I'm a great person. Like, no, I'm only being a great person because it's working out for me. Like, she's not really a good friend, but aren't we all just doing things for ourselves anyway?
But that's
It's fine.
so quid pro quo. Like, I don't buy that as like a reason, a character turn for like, I'm good now.
And I wanted to see Glinda freak out about the fact that the woman, the what's her name?
Michelle Yeoh.
But what's her character's name? Professor Bollinger or something.
Yeah.
Bowling ball.
Morrible.
Morrible. Yeah.
Morrible.
That's how you know she's bad.
yeah.
Horrible, the horrible.
She tells Glinda, you suck and I don't believe in you
Yeah.
at all. That seems to wound Glinda. Glinda wouldn't just be like, yes, I get to work with her and now I'm gonna be nice to this girl who got me. She would go to Elphaba like, what did you say that I'm now she hates me, and then like I don't think it would turn into like, I'm just gonna do this nice favor now. And why would her grandma give her that hat?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean-
why was that hat? That hat was shoehorned in the thing too. Is there
Yeah,
more story
that's
to the
true.
hat being there than it's just
in the
hat?
book there is more to
What
the
is
hat.
it?
I don't
What is it?
remember.
Okay.
It was a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
It did feel like there was a lot of story being told of how somebody got, like a broomstick.
Well, it's the origin story of the Wicked Witch of the West.
I do like the fact that there's no green witches with broomsticks and a hat are just, they weren't a thing before. This is the birth of that. That's interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that there was a magic teacher at the school, but seemingly she's the only person who knows magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of confusion in terms of
And the teacher has to repeat
canon.
several times, I'm not working with anyone. If only if I want to. It's like, okay, we know, so maybe if you choose someone, it'll be very special. And I was responsible for that thing that Elphaba clearly did that was almost murdered thousands of students because there was marble and concrete falling. Like, it was Dodger Stadium. It was crazy. And then she's like, I did that as a test. Everyone's like, oh, thank you. Putting our lives at risk. I mean, are they immortal? Can they get
No.
Okay, they're not immortal.
No one's immortal.
And
we're just okay. So I liked Wicked way more than I thought I was going to like it.
I did too.
But you know what I was just not okay with? Them going to a place called Shiz University. It's so wild.
it sounds like a bar that someone from the Real Housewives would open. Why? Is it Vanderpump Rules offshoot? I don't get it either. Is Shiz short for something?
I'm sure it is. I just don't remember. I haven't read the book since I was 18.
And sorry, I know we're being critical, and it's like really wrong to do that about Wicked because
it's one of the best movies of the year. It's like
yes,
Marvel.
and it's not nice to do, and it seems like we're making fun of theater kids if you make fun of it.
Yeah.
I'm making fun of it because that's the only thing that we can do. Like I did love it. There's
All
no
we
question
have
about
is
it.
Ridicule.
And I think I need to read the books to understand it, which I am not going to do.
Yes.
There's no way. I hear they're really long and dark, and like maybe, but like now that I know the story, I don't think I'm interested. But they say the words that they choose to like add a syllable to. It's amazing a goal.
That I hate.
Why are we doing?
I think it's because it's from
not
The Wizard
cute.
of Oz.
Oh, it
They
is?
do that sometimes in certain songs.
That did not catch on for me.
I hate it. That repulses me.
It was just that again, shoehorned. We're being forced to hear this little thing that you think is very cute and endearing, but it just takes you out of it, and you go, "Is this person stupid?"
No, yes, it
makes them look stupid.
It makes them look stupid, like because it's also like the only people who are doing it are like Ariana Grande, and like so I'm like, oh, she's
horrible
just
at it
dumb.
once.
She doesn't know
She's
real
dumb.
words.
That's how it read. You're so right. Like my note would have been like, we got to cut that out because that makes her look stupid, and her character's already bordering on. She's a blonde. She's kind of dumb. She's vapid and all these things.
Legally Blonde type.
Yes, but she's not supposed to be stupid. I don't think.
No, she's not. She is an unhealthy.
She's not a good friend.
She's an unhealthy 3, the most unhealthy 3 you could be.
Yeah.
Everything she does is for the approval of the masses. So even when she's doing things to be friends with Elphaba, it's because, like, the most clear moment is when they're at the train and she's jealous of the boyfriend, and then she's with the boyfriend, and then Elphaba shows up, and at first Glinda's like, I don't give a shit about the animal rights. And then Elphaba shows up, and then the boyfriend shows up, and they're both, we care about the animal rights. So then she immediately changes and says, I care about the animal rights. And then she doesn't just say, I care about the animal rights to get the approval of them. Then she makes a big scene about changing her name, the most visibly... the most visible thing she could do
And
to
I like
show.
when she goes, I don't know why I did that.
Right.
I think we can all relate
It's
to like
because she just
doing
wants
something
the
where you're like,
applause.
no one even wanted me to do that,
Right.
and no one cared.
But she got the applause, and she gets
She
the
did.
applause over and over again.
Yes, that's good. And yeah, they're interesting characters that are very layered and have a lot going on. But it's like, I gotta say, Jonathan Bailey, is that his name?
Sure is.
Hubba.
I know. That book scene?
I love how he is just like everyone's horned up for him. Like he is a bisexual phenom.
Yeah, he's very. He feels like a Disney cartoon, like when he shows up, where he's just
Amazing.
like he has muscle definition through his clothes, so he was drawn.
Where did he come from? Who is he?
He's English, and I think we're about to see a lot of him.
I loved him.
No, he
I
was
want to see him in
great.
everything.
Yeah.
He was so charming. Like women were legit swooning in the audience. Like
know.
I was kind of like, like I remember he did something that wasn't even that funny, and the girl next to me was like, like the way you do with like a hot guy. Like we were I've literally found myself being more like by the dumb stuff he was doing. I was actually almost like I was Glinda, like being tricked by it. And not even like, oh, we're being tricked by, because he, you're aware of how cunning he is and like how he is kind of like a cad. But I was so enraptured by it. I think he's amazing. And then all their voices are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Bowen was hilarious, and Bowen was there to
It
just
was the quip
serve.
machine.
Yeah, the quip machine.
Press the button, you get a punchline.
Yeah, and he was great, and it just looked so much fun to be in. Like I can't. Bowen's my only way to maybe ask someone like, what was it like being in this movie? Like I want to know like what, because I was thinking like, because I heard something that Bowen said that he had learned the choreography to one scene they were shooting in like September, and then by February they're like, oh, we're shooting it today, and he's like, I don't really remember the choreo. So then he did it and he was able to nail it, but like I was like, oh my god, what if you are the one person in one of those dance scenes that like fucks up the thing and you have to take it all over and everyone's nailed it? Like, I want to know from a dance perspective what that's like, because I would die.
Man, just to be the only one, that's fucked up. That'd be
it'd be horrible.
It's like a field goal kicker missing the kick.
I mean, that is.
But if everyone on the team was kicking at the same time and they all made it.
It's literally why I quit improv, is I did not like having other people. I could let
Rely
them
on
down.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like being part of that kind of team.
Yeah, like, because we
Like-
were doing the TNF thing, the Thursday Night Football pre-tape that we were doing the other day, and I kept fucking up. Like, I'd get a really long line of something, and it'd be like going, and then I'd fuck up the last line. And yeah, it's like everyone's like, oh, damn it, and we all feel a little bit of like, but it's not, you guys don't have like it's not, you weren't performing in that moment. I didn't just waste your performance. I wasted your time watching it, but it didn't feel as like, I don't know what I would do if like the very last step or something during a number where it's everyone that does their best job. Oh my God, because it must happen.
There was one time on a set. I won't say what set because I don't want anyone to figure it out. But there was one time on a set where there was this guy who had one really long line, and it was so long that they even did like a special camera move so that he could say the line. It wouldn't be boring, and he just could not get it. It took. We were sitting there for like 45 minutes while he tried it over and over again, and it got to the point where we were like, should we just cut the line?
What did he do?
Yeah, was he not like
he just
aware?
He had to memorize it.
You
know?
start panicking in
Yeah.
that
Yes.
moment where you're
Yes.
just like, I know I can do this, and because you've now lost the confidence to do it, it's impossible to get it right.
And at first
sucks.
you just go like, oh, sorry about that, and then you start doing the thing where you like kind of do that laugh where you go like, I'm drinking a can of I'm drinking a can of Zivia.
Yeah.
To
and that's embarrassing because we all know what's happening in your head when you're making faces and noises like that. And then he got the equivalent of the yips, I would say, and it was like maybe like 14, 15 times. And then we were like, we're gonna have to bring someone else in or just cut the line. And
At
then
that point, I would have said, I can't. I would have been the one as the actor to be like, you guys should bring someone else in.
Hook
Like,
me.
let me don't make. I'm not gonna make you tell me this.
Yeah.
I will take myself
and
out.
we couldn't break it up into easier lines because there was a camera movement. It was like a one shot.
Oh God.
And then we were like, we're gonna have to break for lunch at least. And then
Oh,
we were like,
no.
okay, one last one before lunch. And then he just nailed it.
crushed it?
I don't-
Yeah.
He didn't crush it.
but he
Yeah.
But
just.
the pressure of
He barely crossed the finish line, but
Yeah.
it was there, and it was.
No,
it was
this happened to
fine.
me for one of the first commercials I ever did, and I only got the commercial because they hired Nikki and Sarah from Nikki and Sarah Live on MTV to do this like VMAs kind of cross promo with the Kia hamsters. Like we had to like
I love
do.
those
And you
guys.
can't say no to them.
What's that
It
song?
was-
What's the song? The Kia hamster
was,
song?
It's LMFAO.
Yeah, it's definitely
Sexy
Party
and I know
Rock?
it.
Yeah.
Sexy and I know
Party
it.
rock-
Sexy and I know
Wait.
it.
See,
Oh,
I
sexy.
know it.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, yeah,
Man.
They did a lot of like party
2000.
rocking to the yeah, they definitely did all
LMFAO.
those.
They were good.
Hamster.
Or they
They had
did
two
the
good
dance.
songs.
Dee da dee da do do.
Oh, yeah.
guys taught me that song.
The hamster dance.
guys taught me that song.
Only threes remember it.
They were like, this song. I'm
I
like,
don't remember.
The
it.
hamster dance. It was like one of the first things that you could look up on the internet.
Oh.
Yeah,
And it was
World Wide
the
Web.
hamsterdance.com.
Oh, yes, I
and
remember
it
this.
was little like dancing hamsters that was going 24 hours a day, and you would
Yes.
just tune in
Yeah.
and it would go da-da-dee-da-dee. So anyway,
I do remember this now.
I had to do a scene where we were getting ready for our date night with the hamsters or whatever. The hamsters weren't there in this scene, but we were in like a dressing room, and Sarah's on the outside like throwing clothes to me, and I'm like saying like, oh, this doesn't fit or whatever. And I could not get the line. It was the same kind of thing. And it probably went on for a minute before I started totally freaking out. And then at 2 minutes, I fully broke down and started sobbing, like I was just in a bad space, and I cried. It was so awkward. Oh, I remember. Oh my God. Okay, major part of this. So I'm already nervous to be on set. I start fucking up. I start fucking up the lines early on. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel ugly. I'm in a fight with my boyfriend. I remember it was just a bad day, and then I'm fucking up this line, and then they stop down to change something, probably just to get me to like calm down and get rid of the yips or whatever, like take a
Sure.
break. So they're fixing some lighting or something.
And then the
one
ghost of the munchkin appeared to you.
Yeah.
And says, you're gonna make it, kid. And it gave you the
Can I
confidence.
change my answer?
I've only said this to you and one of the Kia hamsters.
And so this guy that was kind of like not a good vibe, just like kind of like didn't want to be there, like one of the, either sound guy, lighting guy, but like an older guy that was kind of just like smarmy and snarky and saying shitty things. I already didn't like him, and that's rare for me on set. I don't even remember not liking anyone else on set ever in my life. But so I remember this guy stood out, and then he goes, "You're a comedian. I got a joke." Or no, he goes. He didn't say that. Sorry, most people say that. He goes, "Oh, do you guys hear that? Who did he say? Oh, shit, hold on. Oh, do you guys hear Melissa Etheridge died?" And it's like around the smartphone time, right? And so I go, "Oh my God, what?" Like, I don't love Melissa Etheridge, but like her dying would be kind of sad because she's like. At this point, this was 10 years ago. She was young.
50.
And that's like a thing. I was like, oh, what? Really? And he was like, yeah, she drowned in Ricky Lake. I was just like, what? And so I felt dumb because I got upset that she was dead.
Yeah.
And then I felt dumb that it was just a dumb joke and everyone like laughed around. And I was just like sickened by the dumb joke. Like didn't even make sense. Like they're not even connected.
They're not connected. I'm actually
Lake's
trying to
not gay.
piece them together. Like
Ricky Lake is not gay. I
It
don't
would
know.
make sense
No,
if
she's
they were
not.
both gay, and then she was eating her out.
Yeah.
But then she wouldn't die.
He definitely did not say she died eating someone out, and I was like, "Who?" Like it wasn't like I would not have been sad by that setup. So it was definitely Melissa Etheridge died,
Yeah.
and then I go, "Oh my God!" And so I looked, so I felt dumb, and then I like could not. Then I was just so mad at him and mad that he tricked me, and everyone laughed at me believing it, and kind of made fun of me for being upset about Melissa Etheridge dying. That I started crying, and they had to like stop down for a really long time so I could like recover, and it was so embarrassing. But
Oh,
it like
brother.
when it happens to you, like there's no getting out of it. Like it almost
Yeah.
reminded me of that show we did.
I know, because your brain stops working. Your brain
stops working when you are failing at something failing at talking.
Yes, it just stops feeding you things to say, and you were just so stuck in that moment.
Awful.
Yeah,
Awful.
it's truly terrible. But yeah.
Have you guys ever gotten the yips in any way of your life where you like froze or had a bad?
Doing voiceover with the script in front of me, like I just could not nail a line. Like,
Yes.
it was
Oh my
like
God. With a script too.
with a script, and like
Oh
it's
my
just like
gosh.
I'm in my head, I'm saying it the correct way, and out loud, it just was not coming out that way. And then I'm like, I got it, and then I just start tripping over it, even though I'm reading it.
Salah.
Yeah.
Sala.
yeah, Robert Sala.
Sala. I couldn't
That
say
didn't even
Robert
make it,
Sala.
right? So-
We ended up saying like, no, we're sorry, Robert.
Oh, yeah.
I think it
yes.
did make it because I couldn't say Sala. It kept
I've seen you like
Salah, and then the other guy's name.
Saquon.
Like these
Saquon.
names, if you don't,
Yeah.
if you read them enough in your head, you cement them, and then someone says them, and you go, oh shit. But yeah,
It's pretty crazy. I feel like it affects literally everyone.
Yeah.
Like truly, like even like movie stars I've seen do it. Like they're just like doing the line and be like fuck, and starting over and going like fuck. Like it's just nonstop. It's just I think it's just part of the human condition.
Well,
we're not supposed to be memorizing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
Steve Martin famously got stage fright in his 50s or something, and he didn't step on stage for like 15, 20 years or something.
Was
like
it
that.
stage
Oh my
fright, or was it?
gosh.
He said it was like the Friday Late Show was his reason for quitting comedy.
I mean,
Because like drunk crowds, just
in Born Standing Up,
Yeah.
I think he talked about how he got stage fright. Like
Yeah,
he couldn't
and-
step on stage anymore all of a sudden.
He also couldn't go to his own movie premieres because he like had his first panic attack at a movie because he smoked a little bit of weed and had a panic
Yeah,
attack. So he
anxiety.
just never went to his premieres and stuff. But yeah, it was the Saturday Late Show, and also I think he was like
Saturday Late Show.
doing or Friday Late Show, one of them.
Because they work all day
Yeah.
and then they're tired and drunk.
And
Yeah.
doing like the amphitheaters, everyone like they weren't listening to him. They were just shouting out like "Wild and Crazy Guy" or like "Do King Tut."
Yeah, it wasn't
And
fun anymore.
It stopped being fun for him. Like I saw
Yeah.
that with Norm. Like one time Norm was at the Irvine Improv and he like was truly bombing, like bombing from
It's
beginning
just so
to end.
insane that Norm
like,
would bomb.
He was like, like he was just completely. They were not. He was not in sync with the audience. But at one point, like
And
40.
hold on, please. When he would not be in sync with them, would he give a fuck? Was it really like it didn't seem to?
If anything, he'd double and triple down. Like
Did he enjoy it? Like, so he felt it. It wasn't like he didn't feel the bomb. Was he get a kick out of it? And then, like, afterwards, would he be like, "Man, I bombed. That was awesome"? Or
No,
what
he was like bummed he was bombing,
right. Like
but
he cared a lot.
but he would like run the light when he was bombing I guess maybe like somewhere
Despite them?
But was
subconsciously.
he trying to get them back?
I think he thought he could get them back even with this, but like.
Interesting.
Like he ran the light by an hour. Like it was Adam Egan and I were sitting there, and we were just like, we could not believe it because people were just like walking out in
no,
droves.
you would hear that Norm would walk rooms all the time.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't believe it. And then I got confirmation because I go, well, people are just saying that. Like, but it happened a lot.
It was crazy. Like 40 minutes into a show, like he got like the 5 minutes of laughter when he first walked on stage. And then like for the next 35 minutes, he had completely lost them. And I don't
Why?
even know how. I think he like smoked weed beforehand.
Yes,
and like
smoking weed beforehand
was
will
not
fuck up his
clicking.
timing.
Yeah.
Nothing was clicking. His
Yeah.
timing was messed up.
Damn.
And like at one point, 40 minutes in, someone yelled out, "Do dirty work." And
Movie.
Adam Egan and I laughed for 5 minutes straight. And I think it kind of reinvigorated Norm a little bit.
Yes.
We
When
kinda-
was this?
The laughing
was
at.
2012, 2013.
Oh my God.
But yeah, he walked. It was a sold out show, so there's like 400 people there. He probably walked more than half the room
Oh my
and
gosh.
did 2 hours, including several poems.
Is he commenting on the people walking out, or is not noticing it, or does
just sticking with it, like doing his material, and then he's like, "Well, you guys don't like jokes, huh?" And then he'd be like, "Oh, here's a poem that I remember reading." And he would do like a poem about like the 1920s Yankees from memory.
Well, it is interesting, like you were saying, getting like late in life phobias, or when they just come out of nowhere. And we talked about it before, but I think Nate Bargatze said he got claustrophobia out of nowhere. Like one day
Yeah.
it just appeared to him.
Well, I think I have that. I have something going on because of the MRI that I took.
Oh
I
yeah, that's
freaked
right.
out.
That's right. We talked about
And
this.
now there's a lot of things that I'm like, I can feel that anxiety building up, and it's like I didn't used to have this at all.
I know. I don't like this adult getting new like anxieties in adulthood.
You really have to work on it.
You do. You have to like. I think meditation is kind of
Well,
the key.
speaking of, I'm tomorrow. I'm getting hypnotized. Well, not tomorrow.
Just don't
I'm
get
not
past
getting
that.
hypnotized. No, I am having a consultation with a hypnotherapist tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah, and so I'm going to get
For
hypnotized
what?
to try to stop clenching.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Like
work.
your jaw or just your body?
My ass, yeah, it's just too much.
I'm sure
worried.
your ass too.
No,
Yeah.
my jaw, yeah, to stop clenching my jaw. Because it's subconscious. A lot of
Yeah.
people say it's based on stress. And
Yeah.
and you have no control over it because it happens while you're sleeping.
God, it
So
sucks.
I'm going to see if that works. And then maybe they said like sometimes when you get hypnotherapy for something, other things start to like unravel and then you
doesn't
release, unravel and things go downhill fast.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you go crazy. No, it starts to unwind or something and it releases some sort of,
I'm so excited about this.
yeah,
for
like
you.
maybe some kind of like deep rooted stress or cause of the anxiety will be tempered because of whatever.
Yeah, maybe the clenching is just the fucking tip of the iceberg.
Well,
of some
definitely
big,
is.
like, yeah.
It definitely is. So yeah, I'm excited to report back on whether or not this works.
Oh, that's great.
I have no idea what to expect, but I am going into it 100% believing it will work because
Yes.
I'm
Out of
absolutely
options.
desperate.
Well,
Yeah.
that's when you start praying.
Yeah.
Like you're right away hypnotize. Like you'll maybe meditate and start to pray. Like at the
Right.
like I remember I was like praying during COVID because I was so depressed and I was like I don't know what else to do. Like I was like, oh, this is why people like turn to God when there's
Yeah.
really no other option. Like
Yeah.
if this doesn't work. Same with those books that I read to quit drinking and quit smoking. Like I think it really helps going into something being like, this is going to work because
Yeah.
I think that's a main
Well, that's
reason,
the reason
why
it
things
works.
do work.
Yeah. Well, there was a joke. I don't know if it was Patrice or Neil Brennan or someone like that who had a joke about like why is it that all the
It was Patrice O'Neill Brennan.
Patrice O'Neill Brennan. Yes. Yeah, from Ireland. Why is it that all the poor people that are victims of natural disasters are always so religious? And they're always like walking through these flood waters praying. Or maybe it was Louis actually.
Yeah.
Praying to God, and it's like God just fucked you. Like you're like his least favorite person. That's just similar.
But that
to what
reminds
you
me
were
of
saying.
the Pat Oswalt joke from
Maybe it's Patton Oswalt.
Feeling Kind of Patton, where he was like, he was talking about Bush. Like this was back when we didn't like Bush.
Yeah,
And he's
wow.
like, it's so funny
Those
when
are
you
the
meet
days.
someone who loves Bush, and they're like, yeah, I fucking love Bush, and he goes, Bush fucking hates you. Bush would be caught dead with you. You know that, right? Like that kind of
Yeah.
like why of all people, why do you like this person?
Right.
But yeah, you know what? We have to take a break, so let's do that, and we'll come back with final thoughts. I found that the thing that is new for me is like I gotta get better. Final thought from me, I feel like my anxiety that I want to conquer, that is like showing up that I'm like, oh, this could spiral or unravel, is not wanting to watch myself. Or not even what, like, it's gotten so bad that like even the Gracie Abrams
That made me sad that you didn't watch that.
No, I did watch her talk about it. I did watch it once.
Okay.
But no, even that's okay for me to see people. I don't even really like watching people talk about me, but anything that has to do with me, I don't want to watch. Like even people who did my TikTok, like the TikTok I did, I couldn't watch people do the TikTok that's like, Nikki Glaser, you slayed this. I tried it too. Like, I don't even want to watch that. And I don't even know what that is because you know what it is? Because I feel like if there's a part of it that's not good, it's my fault. I should have made a cool move for them to make it this part. And they didn't know what to do with their hands at that part. And that's my fault. And I like made them come up with something new. And it was my response. Like I have to get over this because I hate watching myself.
For me.
And the only way because whenever I have to edit a special and I have to do it, I eventually, by the end of it, I could watch anything of myself. It's like trial by fire. Like you just get used to it, but then I go step away from it, and I go, okay, now I can watch myself. And I step away too long, and then it becomes like I would rather do anything than watch myself. Literally anything, and it's not okay because that's what I do for a living is ask people to watch me. Why can't I do it?
That's what I do for a living. Ask her to
Man,
watch
that's
herself.
how I
But do you not watch the stand-up clips I send you?
No, I mute
Gen
them.
ZM.
I turn them down and then I scroll through to make sure the captions are right. What the
she's
captions
insulted.
are.
No,
But
I'm
I
not
would never-
insulted. I mean,
would
that's, I guess,
never-
my job to
I
make it easier.
I trust that the sound's going to be good.
Yeah.
The audio, the visually it looks good, but I'm not going to listen to myself and like watch it back. No fucking way.
So you watch anything I send you?
What do you mean?
Like TikToks. Like, did you watch the full like karaoke, like us karaoke thing?
The Us Karaoke.
The one where you're like guessing the lyrics?
Yeah, I did watch that whole thing. I don't mind watching myself if I'm not like performing. If it's like something that I'm just like, it's clipped together and it's just me talking, because the expectations are lower for myself, because I'm like, well, I wasn't trying to be extraordinary.
It's just for TikTok. Yeah.
Not just for TikTok, but it's like I'm
There was
off
no
the hook a little bit
preparation.
more. Yes.
There was no preparation.
I didn't
and like,
need to. I couldn't have prepared for this.
Yes.
So I'm
And
off
like
the hook.
when you've actually done the work, watching yourself, all you're seeing is the flaws that happened. And
Yes.
it's impossible to not. Like
Yeah.
it sucks so much. Like I don't like hearing my voice. I don't like seeing
So you don't like it either.
I hate it. I hate hearing
Do you
my
blindly
voice.
post things, or will you watch them before you post it?
Oh, I'm a blind poster. Like I am like.
Well, that's a good.
yeah.
That's a good thing. As long as you don't, it doesn't stop you from posting. Because I found it was stopping me from posting. And then as soon as I just go, if I just post it, like, and I just separate myself from any kind of feedback on it, so I won't even know if it bombs. Like I don't even get to know. Then I'm able to still do it, but not watch myself and still have a career.
Yeah.
But it does help to review your work.
it does.
It makes you a better
and when it's
person.
Well, yeah, that's how
10
you get
million
good.
views, I'm like, I
Yeah,
want to
I
tell
know.
her that. Like, I want to be able
And
to be like, look at it, blew up.
I can see like a screenshot of the 10 or whatever, but I don't want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I'll see this.
Listen, the numbers are the validation.
But Chris always says, like, but you know, why don't you want to rehearse this thing that you have to film and read the script over and over when you do stand up 1,000, like you'll do 1,000 sets to practice something. And I'm like, because those sets aren't practice, it's a real perform. Like, it's not just me practicing to a wall.
Right.
Like it's a performance. So every time I practice, if I work in that each practice is something's riding on it, then I'll practice.
Sure.
That's why when I was learning guitar, it helped so much for me to go on well, I just haven't played that often because I don't have time right now, and my nails are always too long to play. It sucks.
You haven't lost
now.
the desire. You're just
No, I love it when I can,
Yeah,
but I just don't have time. It
Okay.
sucks. It's
Well,
like
that makes sense.
and so, but when I was learning how to play, I would go live on Instagram on the Nikki Glaser pod, and there's no way I would have gotten good without it. I never would have practiced alone.
Yeah.
During COVID, before I was going live on Instagram, I would go like, Mom, Dad, and I was living with them, and I would learn a song and play it for them, and their responses were not good. Like they were just like, Okay, you
well,
know,
your
like
dad's a guitarist also, so he's got to have a special. Like,
yeah, but also I would think that he would be like more understanding of the learning process than he was. I had to have a little confrontation with him and say, "Hey, Dad, you can't hold me to the same standard as you.
Well,
I
what
want to
if
hear good
somebody-
job sometimes."
What if like you had a? What if Arlo or somebody was like, I'm gonna want to be a stand-up, and they're like 16 at this point or 17, and then they start doing stand-up. How
I
are
would
you?
only compliment them and tell
Yeah.
them the things they're good at that are like going to make them better. Like I would realize that everyone's supposed to suck at their stage and they shouldn't be as
Sure.
good as me out of the gate
Sure.
Wow.
because I have a thing called empathy
Oh,
that some people lack because they were raised by alcoholics.
empathy.
And they're not bad people. They just lack it sometimes. Dad, I love you. No, but it's like, yeah, it's just. I think that's if you can get me, if you film me reviewing my work and we make a documentary of it or something,
Honestly,
then I will do it.
I would love us to do that because I didn't that upset because like I feel like for me who's in social media like it's so hard to get a video to go viral. So it's like when for her like I know I think I've told you this, but like any roast clip I post on Instagram will get 1 million views in like 15 to 20 minutes.
Right.
And that's insane. Like that's unheard of.
Yeah.
For,
Well,
like,
and then
Instagram
I
right
don't give
now.
myself credit for those.
No,
I don't.
and then she won't because she's like, or she'll heart the message. I go, so she's pissed. I sent her this. Great.
No, not pissed at all. I'll be like, I can't let it in.
I know, but I
don't
want
know.
you to because I'm like, look at that. Like that should
Because
be so,
what do I do if I let it in? Okay, let's explore
Yeah,
letting
let's let
it in.
it in.
Wow. Everyone likes me so much. Okay, the thing is, it's going to go away at some point. Like, this can't sustain. And even if it does, great. But I don't want to tie any of my happiness to numbers and fame and like getting things, like real happiness. Because
for
the second I
sure.
do, if it goes away, I'm so scared of that feeling. Like, that's why I don't spend a lot of money on big things because I'm always scared it's going to go away and I'm going to be on the streets. Like, I need to save. I need to I can't, maybe that, I'm trying to like psychoanalyze myself, but I think
No, I
maybe
know.
that's
No,
it
that
of like,
makes
I don't
sense.
want to let it in because I'm scared it will go away.
I know.
And that's why I wouldn't like love Chris, my boyfriend, until last May because I was scared it was going to go away.
May was a great time
Yeah.
for all
Or
of
I
us.
wanted to go away. I want to be
Yeah.
able to flee, so I don't want to let you in. Like I want to be able to leave the industry. I want to be able to like this is too much. I want to be able to leave. But if you're getting 10 million views on everything, like you can't pull out. There's
No.
too many people counting on
No.
you to sustain.
Yes.
The only way to keep doing it is to just never stop doing it. You just have to keep going. Like,
You have to keep going forever.
like never taking a break.
No.
Yeah.
Like
No, you can't take a break.
the break is like I like look at like somebody like Dane Cook who was like just such a huge star doing movies, still doing stand-up. Then he started doing so many movies he stopped doing stand-up, and then it just like went away.
It went away, and he's building it back, which has been actually really fun to watch. And he's like doing it again.
Yeah.
Like I just subscribed to his YouTube, and I'm like, I'm back on the Dane train. Like I feel like this is like MySpace 2004 or something. Like I feel like I'm on the ground level of Dane Cook again. Of like I'm actually interested in he's making me laugh again in ways that like are reminiscent of the first time.
He was super funny on Spade's podcast and like talking about this documentary he made about like his brother stealing all his money. And I
Oh,
was
great.
like, I can't wait to watch this documentary.
Yeah.
He sold it so well that I'm like, oh man, for the first time in 20 years, take my money, Dane Cook.
Oh, dude, I made Chris watch a really, really long Dane Cook clip the other night that was like probably 6
The
minutes long.
relationship.
What is it?
Relationship.
Is that the title of a?
That's one of his 6-minute long bits that I remember.
Yeah, it was something about. It was about texting. I mean, it was longer ago than just the other day. It was like months ago, but it was about texting and just like the intricacies of it. And it was reminiscent of his style of like, and then we do this, and then the bubbles come up, and then the bubbles go away. The bubbles just don't come back, and it's like it's stuff that maybe stand-ups haven't explored, but. I was there for it.
Yeah.
I'm 100% there.
No,
And
it's so annoying
And he's
that people
trying on
pretend like
YouTube.
Dane Cook sucks at stand-up.
it's
Everybody
insane.
that's our age.
And he'll clip this, and it's going to end up somewhere. Because every time I talk about him all the time, and say like it's bullshit that anyone says he's not funny.
Well,
'cause
his
he's
first album was one of the best comedy albums of all
Ever.
time.
I mean, ever. Like, it was the first comedy album
Emily,
for
you were
our
a fetus.
generation.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah,
It
you weren't even
defined-
born for
But I
this.
will
It
do
was like-
it was like he was so huge. Like you don't understand how huge he was.
No, I don't. But you're already saying the bubbles
tr-
thing, and I relate to that.
Who would
Yeah.
you compare him to now?
I mean, like, he was like...
Chapel Roan?
I mean, yeah,
What?
kind of. It was overnight.
Overnight, and it was stadiums.
Although it wasn't
overnight.
overnight because he
No,
was
yeah.
working
Yeah,
behind
no,
the
but-
scenes to
Right.
get email
But-
lists
So it was
going.
kind of
But it
like
was-
Sabrina Carpenter.
it was
almost,
like
'cause
one
it was
of
like
these-
years and years, and then all of a sudden
It was like
then it blew
millennial, I think boys especially, there were a few things that defined their sense of humor. One of them was Family Guy, and one of them was Dane Cook,
Yes,
without
yes.
a doubt.
But it was like crazy because like I had just started stand up and like I
Same.
bought that album and I like loved that album. I was listening to it and then but then
Adam
you
Sandler.
kind of notice like a year later, everyone you went to high school with, which was still so fresh to me,
Yeah.
started liking him and I'm like, you guys know him? This
Yeah.
is like
Oh,
my
interesting.
secret thing.
Oh, I didn't
Like-
get into him until probably like the masses did. Okay, we gotta go. But enough about Dane. Great show. We're gonna have one for you. We're gonna tape it right after this, so it'll be a continuation of this energy. We'll see you then. Don't be and bye.